Training our abs and core with resistance bands is a great way to apply progressive overload when working out at home. Today we're going to look at practical ways to upgrade basic core exercises so we can get even more out of them. I put together a complete workout using these exercises and I'll post it at the end of the video. First we have a twisting band crunch. There are a few things we have to get right to get the most out of this movement. You need to curl your torso downward, bringing your elbows towards your knees. Your hips shouldn't move. It's the crunching of your abdominals that lowers your shoulders, not your hips. This exercise focuses mainly on the rectus abdominus or six-pack. I've added a twist as I crunch down with my elbow going to the opposite knee. This engages the obliques to a greater degree. When you're in the upper or start position, your back is slightly hyperextended. To keep the emphasis on your abs, you need to keep them tight and flexed. Because the band's resistance is the least in this position, it's relatively easy to maintain tension on your abs. With a cable machine, you'll feel it in your low back right away if you lose it. I like to keep my hands right tight to my head, so there's no way I'll be tempted to pull the band down with my arms. If you find this too uncomfortable, you can bring the bands down on either side of your head and rest them on your shoulders. The way you breathe makes a difference to the effectiveness of the crunch. You exhale as you crunch down and inhale as you uncurl your torso and extend back up. The pull-off press is designed to improve our core's anti-rotational strength. This is one of the core's jobs, to stabilize us as we move. I've upgraded this exercise by not only pressing out, but also raising my arms while they're fully extended. You think of this exercise as being for the obliques and transverse abdominus, but it works a lot of secondary muscles like the pecs, front delts, and even the glutes. When you add in the extra movement of raising your arms, you can see on my back how all of the muscles along the spine contract to stabilize and protect it. To set up the pull-off press, you put the door anchor at chest height, then step far enough away from the door to have tension on the bands. This exercise can be made harder by simply taking a narrower stance or moving farther from the anchor. The exercise that's most comparable is a side plank. It also works your core unilaterally. The pull-off press trumps this move because the body has to work harder to readjust against the variable tension as we move our arms out and up, with the added benefit of being able to adjust the initial tension of the band to match our level of fitness. Now that we've trained our obliques and transverse abdominus' anti-rotational strength, we'll strengthen them in movement with a band wood chop. I've upgraded this exercise by performing it on my knees. This takes out a lot of the twist from our hips, forcing us to use our obliques and transverse abdominus. A little bit of hip movement is okay, but if you're not careful, you can make it all about the hips and barely even use your core. The other mistake people make is using their arms to pull the band with their biceps, then push with their triceps. Keeping your arms straight throughout the entire movement will prevent this from happening. In this workout, I'm doing a wood chopper straight across with the band set at chest height. But for a different stimulus, you can set up the band higher and go from high to low, or have the anchor at the bottom of the door and go low to high. This next exercise is a serious upgrade from the last time I demonstrated it. The last time I showed this exercise was before I had toro bands, and it wasn't easy to do with a band looped around my knees. Having ankle straps makes this movement way more effective. Toro Band supplies ankle straps with their kits, and I'll leave a link in the top comments so you can receive 50% off your purchase. Of all the exercises I've shown so far, this is the best six-pack builder, but it needs to be done slow and controlled with a pause at the top of the movement. When it comes to building an incredible physique, it takes more than a six-pack. Watch this playlist next to learn how to build a muscular chest, shoulders, and more with resistance bands so we can keep working out while having fun. This is Lawrence from Fit and 50. We'll talk to you again in the next one.